Welcome to another Snowbird's Tech Tip. Today we're going to look at setting up the Salesforce DevOps Center. This is an awesome tool for those that are getting into DevOps and need a way to better track their changes going from sandboxes. And the DevOps Center is really cool because it's not just for sandbox to production. You can actually connect developer org, scratch orgs, whatever kind of org you have, and do deployments through it. And it helps you to track your deployments, it gives you a repo, and it gets you set up to head towards a full DevOps process in your system. So let's take a look at how to set this up. In Setup, type in Dev and you'll see DevOps Center come up right here. We're going to come here, we're going to turn this on. And the first thing you need is you need to install the package. This package is going to set up a couple of things for you. It's going to install some new objects and get you some objects and some pages that's going to help you get going. So I'm just going to do this for admins for my org, but you can do it however you would like. Generally, this is probably only going to be an admin tool, so I would recommend going that way. We're going to give access to the third party and let this install. Alright, and now we have the DevOps Center installed. Let's take a quick look at the package. I always like to look at my packages when I install them and just kind of glance through what components it installed into my system, just to kind of make myself aware of what I just installed. And here we go. We'll see we've got a new object. We've got some remote sites, some named credentials, permission sets. That's good to be aware of, that you've got permission sets involved. Those will have to be assigned out at some point. Got some resources, some web components, lots of web components. There's the fields for that object. There's some Apex classes involved, and so on. So this is good to take a look at, look through here, just kind of get a little bit familiar with what kinds of things are installed into the system. All right. I'm going to go back to my DevOps Center tab, and I'm going to just verify that nothing else popped up here, and it didn't. I will note that after you install the package, there is a configuration steps document here. So we're going to pull this up, and this will help you go through and see everything that you need to do. And before we can access the DevOps Center, we need to grant the permission set for it. So I'm going to come in here, come to my permission sets, and I'm going to add all three for mine. You'll want to go through these permission sets and through the documentation to look at what each one does to determine who gets which permission set. The next step is you'll need to create a connected app. To do this in your setup, you'll go down to the App Manager under Apps, and at the top right you'll click on New Connected App, and then fill out as you see here. Name of DevOps Center, put in your email address, give it a description, and then you'll need this URL for your start URL. Once you have that set, go ahead and click Save and let that save. From here you'll want to click Manage. Come down here to Manage Permission Sets. And you want to give this the DevOps permission sets. Make sure that you also give those same permission sets to your user. Do a quick refresh to make sure all those new permissions get loaded to your user. And then once you're done with that, you go to your app launcher, and there's your DevOps Center. Now when this loads up, the first thing it's going to bring you to is your project screen. You can create multiple projects, and each project can have its own pipeline. So you can create multiple projects, you can have different streams working through. Just keep in mind that each project will have its own repository on the back end that it's working with. DevOps uses GitHub as the repository base. They are working on adding other repository systems, but right now GitHub is the one that you want. So you will want to go through and make sure you have a GitHub account created. I'm going to create a new account, I'm going to create a new project. And the first thing it needs me to do is to connect to my GitHub. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Okay, so once you've authorized GitHub, then you'll see that message come up there, and now we can create a new project. Give your project a name, and you'll see you've got a couple of options here. You can create a repository for my project. It's going to create a new repository in your GitHub account for you, or you could use an existing repository if you have one. And then you'll click save, and this might take a minute because it's got to go through and create that repository in GitHub and get everything set up. Once it's created, you'll see it comes up here. You'll see we've got the name, the owner, you is the person that set it up, the repository URL, so you can now go into GitHub and check that out, and the release environment. You'll see it says click to connect because I haven't connected any environments. So I'm going to go ahead and click there and set this up. Release environment name. I'm going to mark this one as production, and I'm going to tell it this is a production org. I'm going to hit login. And now it wants me to log in to that org. And then you'll hit allow. That'll give it access to DevOps Center. And there you'll see you've got your release environment is now set up. Now you'll see other environments. I've got 0 dev and 1 other, which is the release environment I just set up. So now I need to connect other environments that I'm going to be pulling from. This is where you would connect your sandboxes or your scratch orgs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it's going to take me to my environments page. And you'll see I've got environments here, and I've got my stages. So you can set this up with multiple stages with different branches, different orgs, so you can kind of go through and build out your process here. I'm going to add a development org here. I'm going to add my scratch org that I created in a previous video. And make sure and allow that. And there we go, now we've got our scratch org involved. Now from here, you have the option of setting up all the stages however you would like. And once everything is set up here, then you would activate this and this becomes your pipeline. Now I'm not going to have all of these stages in this particular setup, so I'm actually going to remove these. In this case, I'm just going to go straight from my scratch org right to production. And I'm going to activate my pipeline. And there we go. Now I have a stages tab. I have my environments tab where I can see all the different environments that I have set up to work with. And I'll see my activity history as I start using it. So from here you can create your work items and start deploying through your pipeline, which I will show you in another video. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you get your DevOps Center set up and start moving towards a DevOps process in your system. If you like these videos, subscribe to the channel, like our videos, comment, let us know what you like, let us know what you don't like. Thanks for watching.